is 6 o'clock, we will call this meeting to order. This is our regular monthly meeting. Mr. Jerry, we will lead us in worship.
Let us pray. Lord, we just thank you for this beautiful day, dear God, and we just thank you, Lord, for everything you've done for us, dear Lord. We just thank you for your loving grace and your mercy on us, Lord. Lord, as we go through this meeting tonight, Lord, we just ask you to help us make the right decisions for Jeff Davis County, for our state, so dear God, and we just ask you to continue to bless us if you have in the past. And all this we ask in Jesus Christ's sweet and precious name. Amen.
Amen. Next, pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next on the agenda is approved minutes for June 15th meeting. All vote. Approved financial report.
Offer motion.
Need a second? All vote. Approve, deny intergovernmental agreement between Jeff Davis County and the City of Hazlehurst concerning the holding of city elections by the Board of Elections and Registrars. So, all y'all got your paper on that?
If I could just, Mr. Chairman, I reviewed the latest one sent by the city, and just for the record, you can vote on it as it is, that's certainly up to you, but I would like to just go on and say my suggestions after reading it that I found. And if y'all want to take them and follow them, we can certainly change it, or if you want to go, like I say, as it is, you can do that too. I'll just go through them pretty quickly on page 2, if y'all have your copy with you. Where it says, paragraph number 4, section number 4, termination. The second paragraph where it says, the city shall have, upon termination, the city shall have the right to utilize all voting equipment for use during municipal elections. I would just go in there and add, providing the election does not coincide with the county election. Because in the event all the machines are being used by the county, I think it would be incumbent upon the city to be responsible for procuring their own machines, so we can make sure we can.
It was, explain that, it would highly be unlikely that would happen. And in the case, it would not be a whole city election, it would be probably one district.
That's correct, but you still have to
But
have.
that couldn't the same person be on the ballot with everybody else?
You don't have to agree with them, I just read it.
Okay,
This is
okay.
what I came up with. Let's see, and then on page 4, paragraph Q, this is in the event a special election is necessary, city and board of elections shall confer, reach a mutually convenient date to conduct such election. The date of special elections are set by statute. So, in odd number of years, it's certain days, and in even number of years, there's certain days. So, Q needs to come out one way or the other, because the city and the board can't agree on when to have a special election. That's set by law. So that is one change that has to be made. And page 5, paragraph H. Where the city is the appointed election certified officer representing the city of Hazlehurst to assist the election superintendent in conduct of city elections no later than January of 2016. Is all I wanted to add to that. Because of the time of the year this is all coming about, and I think Ms. Creech was the election certified officer for the city. If I'm correct, they're not required to have one this year, but we'll make sure one's in place ready for that. And then that's all I have. Everything else.
my take on it, the county attorney, I think she knows. I don't know if she's listening to me.
I'm sorry, there's one more on page 1, paragraph 3, it says, whereas OCGA 521-2-45, that's just a typographical error. I need to change that to correct that code section. That's just a typo.
That should be
First page.
21, it should be just 21.
21-2-45 without the 5.
But that was the make well, it was for content, that's incorrect, but like I said, those are very suggestions, I just want to go on record and say that.
So you need to, this needs to be straightened out and get it back to them and let them agree to it so we can go ahead and.
Well, I mean, that's totally up to you, what you can do is if you want the changes, then you can make a motion to make the changes and then adopt it as it is. I don't think the city will have any problem with it. I'm not changing anything major. And one thing has to come out anyway, because it's statutory. It's wrong.
I'd like to make a motion that we change the changes that she has said, that we have noted, that she does it in the morning, sends the city a copy tomorrow, and then they can come by and get it and read it, and then we meet back here Wednesday to talk with the EMS people that we voted in with the changes at that time. That's my motion.
I said,
All vote. Any opposed?
Personally myself, I'd love to say, personally myself, I'd rather do just like Ms. Carla said to start with, is just go ahead and vote it in, and with the changes, and then we'll have, we'll be through with it, we'll be through with it.
Provided that they agree to it.
That's right. That's the way my, so I'm against.
Probably more than me.
Hmm?
More than me.
No, that's the way I like it.
Was it 3?
Yeah, 3 to 2.
Okay.
But we can have it back Wednesday, so we can go ahead and get it
Yes,
took care of. Another election will be.
yes, sir. I can have to see one.
Next, discuss contracting cleaning service.
What we want to do is kind of reevaluate what we're doing, what we're paying for. We have some buildings that aren't being cleaned or taken care of. So we want to do an assessment of what we're paying for now and what we need in addition, because there need to be a few changes made. So that's just what I wanted to bring up to each of you and get your approval of.
And do these ladies know that these buildings will be cleaned?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out, is we don't have a defined list of here's what we want cleaned and here's what we expect and here's, so that's what we're working on. We should have that, and we don't, so we're working towards doing that. So we'll have a defined list of things that should be done, and then we can evaluate if it's being done correctly and what have you. Right now, there's a little bit of a blurred line between what Jerry does here and what our cleaning crew has, and we have some buildings that aren't being touched at all. So we just want to do an evaluation, so that's what we're planning on.
You just want our blessing to do it? or
Yeah, I
you
just
just
want to
us
make you
be
aware.
of it?
Yeah,
Okay.
and if you got any input, let me know.
The screen is off. You have it on.
Oh, is it?
When the power
Light, you
went,
must have knocked it out.
I didn't see a power bill.
It's right here.
Check into it.
You're gonna get all the list of the buildings and get it back to us.
Okay. See, make sure I understand, Ms. Gary, you going to find out what the ladies think they're supposed to be cleaning, and then what Jerry's supposed to be cleaning. You gonna put it all together, and you gonna talk to them and tell everybody what they're supposed to be doing? Or do you want to bring it back to us for,
I'm just gonna do an evaluation. I'm gonna go around and find out, an assessment on who thinks what and what they think, and then make a list. And then I can inform you all, and then if it's something that we need to change, or we need to do bids, or what have you, then we'll do that. But we need to find out really where we're at, what's being cleaned and what isn't, and what needs to be done.
Everybody's okay with that? Next is to discuss approve rescinding resolution, rescinding the cap on probate judge's vital record compensation. This is something we had talked about last month, something we did, it was done, voted on last year, and last month we found out that it should have been done in the middle of the year. So I guess what we asking here to go back and make it right.
You don't actually have to rescind it. What you can do is go to amend it, because the ordinance like it is fine, it's just the effective date. I think as you, you're right there, so I'm on top of my head, this year, that you can't change it in the middle of the year's term. So you can leave it like it is, and it's make the effective date January 1st, 2017, which would be the next term.
Paul's looking for a vote up or down.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we raise that $7,500 cap.
Well, you don't.
We can't do that at this point.
What you can do is, because we have one, and then you've got to rewrite the whole policy. It's just, you can extend it if you want beyond the 75, you just got to do it no less than 75.
Right.
But then we'll have to, instead of just amending it, what we think, well, we can write whatever we want to vote on for the previous guys, just change it. I just need to know how y'all want it changed, other than the effective date.
Yeah, it's gotta be changed anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if it's wrong, it's gotta be changed. The dates that we're not doing it,
What's it? 12/5. 12/5?
What exactly, Paul, what is, and I started reading something that you gave me a while ago, and that's the first I've seen of it, is you get your salary, but then when you do a gun license, we don't do marriage, but
That has nothing to do with that, it's simply birth certificates and death certificates. That's all the vital records is that I get any money for. Everything else comes on into the county.
okay.
And what the thing done initially, the first thing that I gave y'all showed where you had the authority to cap it. But you could not cap it under $7,500, that was the least you could cap it. You can cap it up the line anywhere above that, if you want to set a cap on it. I was asking it being rescinded totally, but the other law that I gave you there simply was state that you couldn't
Go below.
put it in the middle of the term. You couldn't do it at all in the middle of the term. You could make whatever rule you want, but it can't come into effect until the beginning of the next term.
Okay, and that is per year, you can get up to 7,500, right?
Right, that's the way it's sitting right now when it comes into effect, yeah.
Yeah, which would, it's got to be what it is when you went in till you go to the terms of it this time, anyway.
That's correct.
It's got to be $7,500.
Because it did not have a cap on it, there was no cap on it, so whatever come in, I got. But y'all come in that day, and you said that, Mr. Eves is the one that come up with all that and started that. But the law that y'all were going by there just stated that you couldn't bring it below $7,500.
Okay.
Y'all could have set it at 15 or 20 or whatever you wanted to as far as above that number.
But all it is death certificate.
Birth and death certificate.
Birth and all, and so, the small discount is, do it ever go over 75?
Do what now?
Does it ever go over 7,500?
Yes, it does, but since I've been there, there was a law change that, like the driver's license, that run it up and causing it to get more than that now. When this thing, I think, runs its term, it's gonna fall back, but to say what it's gonna come back to, I don't know. In In fact, we're running behind this year from what it did to the previous years, but I don't have any way of knowing what it may fall back to. But like, as Brad has recommended, if you're gonna have a cap, I would at least like for you to come up with it, higher, if you have to rescind this one and do another one, whatever your procedure may be. But I just simply ask for it to be rescinded and done away with, because naturally I don't want it there.
You made a motion, Brad?
I made a motion, yes.
I'll second.
All vote.
What's that?
Opposed?
Yeah, so I mean, or, you know, we just, so you vote and have, we ain't even got the motion on the table to redo this, right?
She said we didn't have to do it, all we could do was change the amount, what I
I didn't
understand.
see it, we did it, I said you had to, yeah, you got.
We got to
We got to
redo
redo
it,
it.
and we got to put January the 1st, 2017, that it comes into effect. Even what you just voted on then can't come into effect.
That's our January.
Right, till next term.
The dates, so my understanding is the date's gonna be, the effective date's gonna be changed, and the amount's gonna be raised. Okay.
Now, how did y'all vote?
I voted against it, and Rhoda voted against it.
But everybody voted to rescind it. Well, that's got to be. Yeah, to,
What, the 12-5, right?
Right.
Okay.
so we got it all.
I mean, we never had the motion to rescind it and let it come in effect on January 1st, 2017. I never heard that motion put on the table. I heard the motion put on the table that Brad wanted to raise it to 12.
We didn't really rip up to rescind it. We
The
voted
motion
to.
was to revise it, to
Right.
change the
Right.
amount and the effective date.
Right. And that's what we did.
That's what y'all did.
All right, straight.
Well, I had it wrote down when I didn't.
Thank you.
We got it.
I would vote to revise it, but I mean, it's got enough to provide.
You got it.
Next, to appoint Stephanie Reese to the library board to replace Sharon Brown.
Make a motion. Sherry to the board.
I second.
All vote. Any opposed? Discuss amendment to the hotel motel ordinance. We got any update or anything on that?
Did you find out anything on that?
Well, I believe it was brought, I asked Sherry while this was brought back up again, if we're discussing the ordinance itself as far as amendment, I think it was just discussed. You know, Joe felt we're all provided with a copy and not, I think I told you about the last meeting, that it was not in compliance with the new code section that we had to. And, this tax commissioner was looking for some other ordinances from different counties where the tax, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm misspeaking, where the tax commissioner's office did not handle it, it was handled by, what was that, the county, that you tell me?
We need to get the county responses back.
The county finance officer is usually the one that handled it, that's because the county handled that money. You know,
I just need some guidance as to which way y'all want that. Y'all want to keep it in the tax commissioner's office, or y'all want to move it to the office? What was the other one that was suggested to give it to tourism itself to handle as far as, because that's what the majority of the counties do, is that correct?
They never did respond to us about who collected it.
most of them had no clue, because there was only 3 other counties that the tax commissioner actually collected it.
That's what I'm talking about, only the 3 other counties that the tax commissioner did. How many counties did not get responded? Did you say there were several?
There was 43 that did not collect.
Okay, and I think that's what they're asking, that's where we need guidance from you, as the board, is to, do you want to continue from the duty with them, but for the tax commissioner to collect it, or you want to turn it over to another department? Because at this point, and y'all can add this in there too, at this point, the tax commissioner, nor is any of that money come into the county general fund. Now, yes, it's goes down the county because it goes to, to tourism, tourism in the county. And so, of course, less money that you have to fund them with. But as far as the general fund attaining benefit from it, it does not. So that's just what we need to know from you guys. You want to keep it in tax office, or you want to turn it over to the board of tourism and allow them to collect their own money?
You want to give me a little bit of time to look into this with them and make a recommendation later, because I don't have one right at this point. What direction we want to take.
Be fine with me.
Because basically, the thing you need to know is who's going to collect it, where it makes the best sense to have it, not help Mr. Sewell out as well.
Right.
So we make a motion to table it, and you can take care of it and get back with it.
Okay.
I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Need a second? All vote. Approve, deny resolution authorize city of Leesburg to submit an EIP application for installation of an 8-inch water main.
They're applying for a grant, basically, they just need our signature, is all it is.
It's going to a business.
It's for that water line out there, going to the Crown plant.
No.
Right? No?
No. The 8-inch water main is going down to the new facilities down at Beasley. Because the water line is actually going to be going down the right of way of county property, that's why they need your participation on this.
All right.
The Fram water line, that is complete, that's completely separate from this.
Okay.
This is just to prove y'all run it out.
Well, I knew there was a grant, and I knew that was an 8-inch line, so I'm sorry.
Right, no worries, we got water lines galore going on right now. No, this one is the one that's gonna be going down,
J. on Road.
J on Road and creating the loop system down there at Beasley, so that it'll maintain pressure in the event of another fire.
And then the houses on the road that they want to hook on, or anybody they can.
Actually, I can't say for sure, this is gonna be unofficial, what I'm about to say, okay? But my understanding is that they will be able to offer additional services off of that main. But the whole point, the number one reason for it is to create a loop system down there at the plant, so that they do have to irrigate for fire suppression. They won't lose pressure across the road, and they'll be able to maintain pressure for, I think the goal was to reach 3 hours consecutive irrigation. And that loop actually will maintain that pressure.
Before y'all vote on this, I just want to say I have reviewed the resolution that was in my packet. Mr. Cutler, I believe Sherry said she got that from you, is that correct? The resolution?
The resolution was supplied by, it was not provided through my office, it was actually provided by,
City attorney.
no, sir, I'm having a loss of names here. Katie Morton from DCA, she had a sample resolution that was sent, I mean, not Katie, Phil Davis had a sample resolution that he sent over from their office.
Well, my only question about this, and like I say, I read it, is because it sounds, you guys by signing this are saying that you found that the grant is necessary to create new jobs and improve the living conditions of low and moderate income persons. And I don't know that that's exactly what that's doing, is my only thing with this.
It definitely is. The new employment, it has nothing to do with the facility they've already built. Without going into much detail here, there is designed for additional construction behind the new facility, which will be completely new product, new employment above and beyond what they're hiring now in that facility that y'all seen out there now. So this will provide additional support for the expanding operation out there. The low to moderate income level, that's simply verbiage to satisfy DCA. The employment that Beasley provides, I mean, we're in a depressed area, so it applies to us wholeheartedly. If you will, read that part again out loud.
Well, I mean, I
About the low to
understand
moderate
what you're
income?
saying, but I think the board just needs to be informed before their name goes on something, say we're doing this to create new jobs and improve living conditions of low and moderate income persons. If that's the purpose of this, then that's fine. But like I say, I want them to be clear before they just sign something saying, yeah, this is what we're using it for, and it's just used to supply them. I don't think they were aware, they may have been. I was not aware another business was coming in that area that they were adding on.
Well, it's very early discussion. We've been informed by Mr. Beasley that that is their intent, and a previous meeting that we've had here, when we talked about the stop signs and everything, he mentioned it then as well, that there were future
Mentioned
plans.
several times.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Look, my job is to inform this board and that's.
No, sure. I'll answer to the best of my abilities here, but now the whole reason why the county commission is asked to sign this is because the actual water line project
Right.
is going to be on county property.
Right, I understood that part. I just didn't know about the low
So we just,
income.
Yeah, when an application is made to DCA, that's one of the qualifying factors for the application is this going to serve the underserved? Is this going to serve the depressed? Is this going to serve low to moderate income people? And based on the employment that he has out there and the population demographics that we have here in this county, we surpass that percentage by far.
I just wanted that explained.
Not a problem. If y'all have any other questions about it, just call.
so what we vote on is give them the right to go down the county road.
You give them,
Actually,
give
you're-
them the right to apply for a grant.
And for the,
That's what I
apply for
thought.
the grant.
For the grant, to build, to get it, to put it in.
And if I'm not mistaken, Ms. Powell, eventually there will need to be a easement contract given to the city for them to do the work.
Yeah.
So I need a motion,
Oh,
I need a second,
I'll say.
all vote, any opposed? Date to approve or deny request by John Watkins to hold gospel singing at the old recreation department. I think, Mr. Watkins, he's here, I'll just let him explain it.
It's the,
Pastor watching, right?
it's the, music festival, the music festival that we've been putting on for the last 3 years. This is the 4th year. And, it's the same one we had last year, I think, the same facility. And it's aimed for Jeff Davis, Hazers, and that's why we call it the Hazers Music Fest.
It's the same one you used to do up on the street, but
Right.
it got too big, you had to move out,
Right.
and it still gets big.
Still gets big.
I've checked with Bruce, and he says that is available that weekend too, so we're clear on the date.
So I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
We got a motion, we got a second, who made the second?
I think. Y'all don't like one?
All vote. Nobody opposed?
Let him sing, Mr. John.
Oh, yeah, all day.
Commissioner,
Nine to
need a
nine.
motion and second. And next, approve, deny adoption of the bill stated of 1/1/2015 adoption agreement regarding the ACCG defined benefit retirement plan.
We got it all in there.
What this is, well, to put this in a nutshell, what it is the IRS made a ruling that changes the way our accrued retirement benefits are shown on the balance sheet, and we have to approve it. So that's what all this boils down to.
So So we really
We don't really have any choice, you know?
I'll make a motion to accept.
I go to second just since we got to.
All votes? Nobody opposed? Next is approve or deny the following E&Rs. None of that group is here tonight. They all in school and whatever. But Brandon White is asking for a refund, and they say that next door that they owe it $366.03.
Tax.
I guess it's where they paid. They said we had a problem with
They
they
erroneous billing, they were billing him for a lot that wasn't his, and it's only $33 a year, so we didn't really notice it, I suppose.
Is it a tax, though?
It's it's property tax.
We can't do nothing with it. Well, I understood, right?
Yeah, this is.
It's an error.
Release.
Yeah, but I mean, you turn around, if you pay for something and you don't make a return, if it's a county mistake, but he never made a return, and then once he found out, we're gonna back up to. 7 years or whatever, and changing, I mean, you'd have to make a return to be able to take and appeal something. Am I correct, Ms. Susan?
Well, I guess I'm speaking out of turn, but, me and Kathy had talked about that one this week, and I called my state auditor, and he gave me the code section, and I wasn't prepared for this, and, it was 48-380, I think. And he said that, cause I think Kathy said it was, did she put on there if it was duplicated or something
Yeah.
like that?
Right.
Okay.
That, she said it was a mistake in their office, and Ronnie told me that since it was a mistake in an office, that they could go back 3 years, but it was, y'all's call that you could go back to when the mistake was made, because it was a error in that office. And me and Kathy talked about it, and, I think the whole thing was like $300 and something for all years.
366.
But that, like I said, I'm speaking out of turn, because I had just called, me and Kathy was talking about it, and I just called my state auditor to find the code section.
Well, I was told if there was a problem with it because they wasn't here, that we could table it, and they would get to come back and explain it.
I knew that 3-year law, and, as I told some of y'all earlier, I had paid on computers one time, for 7 years, and Harry had come by and picked them up and had them on my taxes, plus the computer company had them down here in, Myers' office, and I was leasing them, and then paid a balloon payment at the end, and when I found out that I was paying it, they were paying it too, because it still belonged to them, I came to the commissioners, and, they said that, you got to make a return, and then when I went to school, over there in that office, it says that you make a return, if you pay a bill, then you say that I agree to it, am I correct? Because you paid it, and that they do have the 3 years if it's an error release, because I don't know how many people that we could have now that come back and have to use their swimming pool for 8 years, and we throwing up in it, and said, well, the pool took off for the last 8 years, so we ain't swimming in it, and don't even have a liner, and we'd have a lot of stuff coming. So I want them to explain it to me, and then y'all can vote it in.
But
I'll
we
make a
did,
motion to table it.
second?
Second.
All vote. We need to go through the rest of them, or just wait?
I think they okay. The church, do you know anything about Mr. Prentice Hearns? Does it join the church,
Yes, sir.
the property joins?
Yes, sir. There's that piece right there.
Is it where the gas tanks used to
Fair
be?
gas.
Yeah. And, the only time you run into a piece of the church owns is if it's a house that somebody given and it's not joining with any property that's ever joined. If it joins the property that the church is on, then it can be a parking lot or out Easter eggs, whatever, and his taxes in. And, you can do one at a time, and I'll make a motion that we go ahead and accept that one.
The one on.
On Mr. Prentice Hearns, yes.
I'll second that.
All vote. Next, James and Teresa Grant.
The year that we building it, I mean, I could read that part, and they paid the tax in Appleton County, so we got a receipt here on this, and I mean, you can't build both in the same county, they just never come and took it off here. And I mean, I can see that and understand it, so I'll make a motion that we release it.
All vote. None opposed. Next, Commissioner Thomas discuss dog owners.
Okay, what this is, I came out, first, I got the, option to do it because of what Mr. Morris brought up, and I looked it up myself, so we're going to, me and Mr. Fall, we discussed it today, and I'll let him finish discussing it.
And I also discussed this with Mr. Jerry, and he's got somebody with expertise in this area, and we're going to work with them to try to find the best way to provide what services are needed. He's going to help us and give us some guidance as to what we should do and what avenues we need to take to try to work on this problem.
And that should be coming up.
Yeah, we're going to take him into, he's going to consult with us, and then we'll present what we find as soon as we can arrange a meeting with him.
Any more discussion on that?
Okay, the next one is the administrator's report, and I just wanted to say on the LeMig application for Bridgeport Church Road, we've completed that, submitted it, so we're all buttoned down on that. And I did get a call on somebody interested in some land that the county owns that's down next to where Hardee's is, and I just wanted to bring that up, give y'all a chance to think about it, and maybe let me know if that's something that we want to entertain. It's right across from Hardee's. Some broker called me, and she's got a client who's interested in that, maybe a half acre or so.
Did they ever let you know what they're putting there?
No. I asked, but they didn't tell me.
Which one, the new one or
The new one.
the new one?
Yeah, we're looking for an empty lot.
In the middle between Hardee's and the big guy.
Okay.
Running them over to.
What in the world?
This retail's all I know.
Any discussion on?
No, it's about an acre and a half, I think, in that whole area. They just looking for maybe a half acre.
So the whole,
They might be interested if it's the whole
yeah,
amount.
sell the whole way.
Depending on what they're gonna put there, yeah.
Okay.
Next, public comments. Anybody have any public comments?
I just want, since you brought that last item up, you know, it is the county property, I'm assuming you're talking the lot in front of the hotel there, which the big house sits
Right,
right behind.
there's an easement, there's a,
The way that came about is the county had bought the property through a grant, where Hardee's now sits. The county bought that property, got a $200,000 grant, from Department of Transportation to purchase that property. The actual selling price of that property was $250,000. Tourism funded the other $50,000 to complete the purchase of that property. When Hardee's came in and wanted that property, the county then swapped that, which is less than an acre where Hardee's sits now, for the almost 2 acres, which includes the driveways and the area in front of the hotel. So the county now owns the property. At first, before the hotel actually owned the property where the driveways were, and the county had an easement for the driveways to the big house. So now the county owns from the driveways all the way across. You know, my concern would be what goes in there, because you do have the county property, the big house, which sits right behind it, which is used a lot for weddings and family reunions and receptions and those type of things. So that would only be my concern, is to, you know, it's, once Hardee's went in, our revenue for weddings and receptions and so forth went to almost nothing. Of course, that was during the year of the construction. But it was still, this past year, it was probably less than half of what it used to be. You know, that, of course, there's other options that people, you know, there's more options for people to have weddings and so forth now, but it has had an effect on what we're able to take in for those. That's money that we put back in to keep that building up that the county owns. The county doesn't put any money into the big house. We maintain, we pay the utilities, we pay the upkeep, the maintenance on it, and keep it all up there, which is a pretty big chunk of money to keep that building. You can imagine what it is for that building to keep it going. Of course, with the Coastal Pines now moving their culinary school out, our utility bill is going to be hopefully reduced pretty significantly from what it has been. So the funding that we get from the hotel motel tax, a good bit of that. Our utility bill last year, we just finished up our year. Just the electric bill last year was over $10,000. To give you an idea of what kind of money we have to put into that facility. So, I would hate to see something coming that would be a detriment to that building there. So,
well, one thing that, as he said, we did not own the part that the grant we got, and we bought the whole Chevron station. Then they turned around and done some swapping for the library, and then got that, and then Hardee's bought it. But even if we was to and find out what's going in and be for selling it, and if it'd be good for the citizen of the county, we need to cut out, and because we never owned the way to get into the big house.
Right, this little block,
Yeah.
if you look at that map, would sit right next to that other, yeah, I mean, it would be,
Right of way.
it wouldn't be in the right of way.
Yeah, and we want to make
Now,
sure.
they're looking at 0.5, 0.6 of an acre is all. So we wouldn't be interested in selling the whole thing.
No, we don't want to.
You'd have to have a right of way.
Well, it wouldn't go into that, it wouldn't, from what I can tell. But I don't really want to entertain anything, we don't know what for sure it's going to be.
Any more public comment?
I got a quick question, since out at the golf course, I think when the county first took it over, I may be wrong, I know that at one time there were some really nice wooden chairs out there in the Civic Center, and I think they were there when the county took it over, but they're all gone now, and there's a bunch of mismatched chairs in there, and we had to go out and buy new chairs and everything. Does anybody know what happened to those wooden chairs? They were nice wooden chairs. I'm thinking $75, $100 each, and there were probably 100 of them. Did y'all dispose of them, or does
What
anybody
kind of
know?
chairs were it, Tom?
They were, you know, sitting down chairs for meetings and for eating around table. They were dark, hard, like mahogany, or I don't know what the wood was, but it was nice chairs. They're all gone, and nobody seems to know what happened to
The
them.
rec department don't do nothing about it,
No,
because they were over that.
I don't know.
I have no idea. Ray Wood might know.
Y'all wouldn't find out for me?
I'll check into it and see if
I'll
I
ask
can
that
find out.
question, yeah.
Any more public comments? If not, we'll go into executive session, discuss personnel. All vote. None opposed.
We're going in.
Yes, it's.
All right, this motion to come back.
Need a motion, come back in this. Need a second. All vote. We went in discussing personnel on hiring, tax appraiser. I need a motion on the salary.
I make a motion that we pay $37,000 a year.
All vote. Any opposed? None opposed? Next, we talk about the people that honor the county commissioners' employees going to a 980 shift. I need a motion to go to that.
Make a motion.
Need a second?
So can it just to clarify for the record, is that for employees under the board of commissioners?
Right.
Or all county employees?
Just the ones under the county?
The Board of Commissioners.
I say,
For Russia saying all vote. This meeting is.
Totally visitation, that's what I thought, visitation would be more than 6 days, and I'm not following the way it is here, just standing in my,
How you doing, Ms. Sullivan? How you doing, all right? Good to see you. Doing good, how you doing, Ms.
she had called the church.
9 plus 80, 89.
No, it's 980.
Longer days, you know, every other Friday.
Y'all just come in like at 7:30.
Hey, for the calls, you know, fire officers,
Well, I figured you would. You have a good one, too. Well,
I got it about 2 times, but I got more done today, and I did all last week. I pulled it.
well, in my case, yeah, I can't hardly do it. I mean, there's a few times when I'm really nailed to something that I have to do. But most of the time I have to do it.
Tomorrow night, and the funeral's at 11 at Oakland. Take care.
That thing right?
No, because, you know,
It's accessible.
well, you're accessible, but, you know, if I come in here and I'm talking to Sherry, or you're talking,
here.
Well, there are-
You wanna know
yeah.
what's going on outside.
Well, there are times when I close the door so I can hear. Because it's distracting.
That was understandable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We started a little.
Gorgeous, gorgeous.